Elevator Tours by Barrie Cole. Part 1. The Palm.
Hey.
What you up to?
Oh, this and that.
Why do you sound muffled?
What?
Hey,
Oh, you're here.
I still don't understand why you don't want to sleep in the office. The futon in the office is a good futon. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, in here it's so empty. I haven't had time
Because
to...
it's like camping. I like it. Thanks for letting me stay. Thanks again.
Sure. You're good at saying thank you. You say it a lot. It's nice.
Well, it's because I'm really thankful. I really like Chicago. I really like it here, especially this part of Chicago. This room right here, it's perfect. Did you bring any food home? Here?
No, but I could go out and get you a falafel.
Oh, that's okay. I'll go out.
Okay. I think there's some peanut butter. Did you see any?
I don't know.
There might be some peanut butter. You can look, or there was a party today at work. Well, not really a party, but a work thing with food. I ate there. So,
Ruth?
Yeah?
So if I keep paying you, you know what I started paying you after I stayed longer than the week I was going to, a few weeks ago? Can I keep staying here? If I keep paying you, because I might want to stay here. Can I?
I don't know yet. It's a weird time. I don't even feel like I live here yet because
Right.
For now, yes, you can stay. So let's just have it like that for now.
Okay.
Wow.
What?
I just remembered something from earlier.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What?
Do you know the poem Of Mere Being?
I don't think so.
It's by Wallace Stevens.
I can only think of that one by him about the Emperor of Ice Cream. Oh, and the one about the blackbird, all the ways of looking at a blackbird. But I can't remember any of the ways, and there were a lot, I think. Was one from the side?
What?
From the side. Was looking from the side one of the ways of looking?
I don't think so. There were 13 ways.
That's a lot of ways.
Of Mere Being is the one that talks about the palm at the end of the mind.
That's not ringing a bell.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just... What's weird is that I always saw the palm in the poem as the palm of a hand, not as a palm tree. And it's never not been a tree. What kind of palm it is meant to mean in the poem is not confusing. It's not a double meaning thing.
The palm at the end of the mind. I want to look it up on my phone. Wallace Stevens.
Of Mere Being.
Got it. The palm at the end of the mind, beyond the last thought, rises in the bronze distance. A gold-feathered bird sings in the palm, without human feeling, a foreign song. Yeah, you're right. It's definitely a palm tree. I really didn't realize so many of his poems were about birds, blackbirds and gold-feathered birds and...
Read the rest, will you?
I will, sure.
Great.
You know then that is not the reason that makes us happy or unhappy. The bird sings, its feathers shine, the palm stands on the edge of space, the wind moves slowly in the branches, the bird's fire-fangled feathers dangle down.
Wow. You know what else I just realized the palm is?
What?
The palm is a kind of calm, isn't it? And also a balm, so it is more, but no matter what, it's still not a hand palm.
Wait, did you say a bomb? I really don't think it's a bomb.
No, a balm, like a salve, like chapstick.
Oh, right, a balm. It is strange that you saw a hand palm instead of a palm tree.
I know, right?
Hey, do you remember turkey hands?
What are turkey hands?
Second grade or something, maybe first. They'd have us trace our hands into construction paper, and we'd spread our fingers wide apart and trace our hands, and there was a way to turn the tracing from just a tracing of a hand into a turkey. The fingers would become the feathers, I think. You turned a tree into a hand in your mind, but in the poem, there's a bird in a tree, and a turkey is also a type of bird. Weird.
I guess so.
What made you think of it?
Of what?
Of the poem. I mean, of the poem.
Oh, there was a poem thing on the train next to an ad, like a public thing, so it wouldn't only be ads up there. It was another poem or poem quote. It wasn't Wallace Stevens. It was E.E. Cummings. Sometimes it's E.E., sometimes it's Langston Hughes or Gwendolyn Brooks. Sometimes it's someone you may not have heard of, a new poet. Or haven't you seen them?
I don't think so. Usually I'm looking out the window or maybe at people.
I think the poems on the trains are for ad watering down. They are there to show us, the readers, the writers, the reader-writers, that language isn't only for advertising. They're there to remind us that language has other roles.
Makes sense.
Wait. Wow. I think I'm remembering turkey hands now. Turkey hands.
Fire-fangled feathers dangle down. That's pretty. Fire-fangled. It's better than fire-mangled, fire-angled, fire-tangled.
Falafel feathers. You look so weird. Do you want me to take a video of it on my phone so you can see it? So you can see how it looks?
Sure.
I'm finished. I mean, if you want to stop, I have it.
Well, let me see it. Wow. I could watch this a lot of times.
Can I have my phone back? I can send it to you if you want to keep watching it.
Oh, sure. Sorry. No, it's okay. You don't have to send it to me.
It's no big deal. I can just...
Nah. Would it be okay with you if Liz comes over later?
Liz? You mean my Liz? Sure, I guess so. Why?
I ran into her yesterday. I forgot to tell you. I was figuring out how to get my mail here. Oh, wait, is that okay?
Is what okay?
If I have my mail sent here just for a while?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Anyway, Liz was near the post office at that farmer's market thing in that area. You know where it is, that area. And I ended up helping her with her petition for something she's doing with bikes. Bike lanes.
Oh, right. That's her thing now. Bike lanes. But, well, you don't have a bike.
Well, Liz said she might have an extra one she let me use, and I was using one of those blue rental bikes when I saw her, so I guess I sort of have bikes now, plural.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sure.
I think she's coming over tonight. We could all hang out. We could play Scrabble. Do you have it? Do you have Scrabble?
I don't think so. I have a date, but you don't, right?
No. I mean, Liz is just coming over, or I'm not attracted to... no, I don't think so. Who's your date with? Is it a computer date?
Computer date. That's funny. It is a computer date. It's with a nurse who used to be a cabinet maker, but only part-time.
Part-time nurse or part-time cabinet maker?
Both, I think, but only nurse now.
What kind?
Surgical, I think. Part-time surgical, former part-time cabinet maker nurse.
Part-time in the palm at the end of the mind?
No, in real life.
Isn't the palm at the end of the mind in real life?
Maybe.
The psalm at the end of the mind? Maybe a psalm would be better at the end of the mind. I don't know any psalms. The turkey hand in the brush. What is that saying? 2 in the hand is better than 3 in the brush. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Is it brush or bush?
I don't know.
Why is it better? What's better about something in a palm than in a brush or bush? Is it 2 birds or 1 or 3? Well, it's better because you have it, right? The bird or birds. Do you think it's because even if there is more over there in the bush or brush or wherever, that what's in your hand is better because you have it?
I don't know.
What kind of brush? A brush fire kind of brush? A hairbrush? Kind of bush? Mulberry? Why would you want any birds in your hand? Don't you want them in nests or in the sky? Shouldn't birds be free? Is a bush the same as a thicket? Are there birds in palms? I think palm trees are too high up for birds. They don't even have branches to perch on or build nests on, so why a palm?
I don't know.
Do you think a psalm at the end of the mind is better than a palm at the end of the mind?
I don't know.
What about a poem? A poem at the end of the mind?
I don't know.
Should we? Should we know?
I don't know.
Part 2. The Cloud.
It happened again. I can't believe it happened again.
Why do you always begin in the middle?
What?
I don't know what it is. You haven't told me. There's something so exclusive about starting like that. It's hard to know if you're talking to me or if you're just talking to yourself, but you're doing it in front of me because I'm here. I mean, why am I necessary?
You sound just like Liz. You don't even sound like you. You sound like Liz. Liz would say that.
That's interesting. I don't think I sound like Liz. Maybe you're just getting similar feedback from the various people in your life.
She would totally say that too. God, what's funny is that this is just like it.
What?
Okay, I'll tell you what it is. Sometimes when I say something funny or have an idea or have a funny idea or just tell a tiny true story, I'm accused of lifting portions or concepts from various TV shows, mostly sitcoms.
That's crazy.
It is. I mean, whenever it happens, it will seem like the conversation is just a regular conversation and the other person will get a kind of look. And I'll look back at them because I want to know what's happened with them. Like, what is going on? But now, since it's happened several times, I'll think, oh shit, it's happening again. This strange accusatory thing. So then I'll say, you think I'm pretending that what I'm talking about is original, but it's really something from a TV show. And then they'll laugh and say, pretty much. But see, I'm not. I'm just talking. And even this conversation we're having now is like an episode. My talking about this thing that keeps happening, but it's not an episode. I mean, it's an episode of the thing, but not a TV episode. It's really happening.
Right. Oh my God.
What?
I just realized that you're not being exclusive when you start in the middle. When you just say it, when you don't tell me what the it is in the beginning, you just don't know how to say the whole thing yet. And you trust me to be patient, to wait while you gather your thoughts.
That's true.
Wow. Thanks. Thanks for trusting me while you gather your thoughts. You must see me as a real friend. Ruth, I'm sorry for those times, those periods where you called me and I didn't... I had a lot going on with... I think fluctuations are part of the waters of a friendship, and I think...
I love that Graceland album. That Paul Simon Graceland album from the 1980s. Do you remember it? The whole thing is someone talking, and the someone is Paul Simon. He's in a conversation about important things, but also regular things. Important regular things, like relationships and being alive, but the conversation is sung, and mostly by him, so we must be the people he's talking to. We're in the conversation, but with our ears, And there are also these metaphors in it, and these almost poetic interpretations of vulnerability and living and middle age and other feelings. Angels in the architecture, scattering in infinity. It's like a My Dinner with Andre record because of the quality and depth of the conversation, but it's being recorded in Africa, in Zimbabwe, right? It's a dialogue and a monologue. It has echoes. What do you call that? Thrum, right? Reverberation. It's a theatrical record. It's a ceremony. It's perfect.
You're right. It's an amazing album. Don't I know you from the cinematographer's party? Say, aren't you the woman who was recently given a Fulbright? I know what I know. I say what I've said. She looked me over. I guess she thought it was all right. All right, in a sort of a limited way for an off night. Well, that was in the wrong order. I never realized that Fulbright is like fully bright, even though it has just one L. Wow, to be fully bright, to be radiant.
So the TV thing, I've come to the conclusion that it's just because of the cloud.
The cloud? Ruth, do you mean sky cloud or digital?
Both. It's half old cloud, half new cloud.
I don't get it.
I'm talking about an invisible collective cloud-like object, and it has this mist that descends from it and spreads out from it too. Anyone can access it at any time. Some people, though, grow up with it, and so they take it for granted. For them, it's just always there, and it always has been. But some people have to think more about it in order to have it, to use it, to play with it, even access it, or know about its existence. And well, if a person and a TV writer have access to this same cloud, then they could experience similar stories or situations.
So, like a culture cloud?
Yes, but it could even be a funny cloud. So if you grow up with a funny cloud that is constantly storing all the collective funny data and then misting it out, you'll notice when things are funny, and funny things will happen to you more frequently. And you'll find them really funny.
Isn't that just like having things in common?
No.
Okay.
Liz doesn't wash her hands
What?
when she uses the bathroom. She never does. Liz doesn't believe in hand washing.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you just showing me an example of when the accusing thing happens?
No, but, oh, wow, you're totally right. This is very cloud-like. It totally is. This is the cloud of people who talk about other people.
Why would you tell me that about Liz?
Well, I just thought you should know. I mean, like, if you go out for Ethiopian food or something, or do something else.
Liz and I are not fucking each other, okay? We're not going to. I'm not ready to... We're just friends, okay?
I know. She'd tell me. Or you would.
Would you be cool with it?
Not really.
How was the guy, the date with the cabinet maker nurse?
He composts his own poop in something called a dry latrine.
Gross.
Completely.
Part-time or full-time?
Full, I think.
Why?
He has a garden.
But
I think he'd be good for Liz.
why?
Think about it.
What?
Never mind. He kept talking about this book, Society of the Spectacle. It's about people who create spectacles in order to heighten their own realities.
Cool.
And how people make things into a performance in order to like their own lives more, or to make them feel meaningful, or to gain approval from other people, and to fulfill their concept of what kind of person they want to be in public. He was talking about the spectacle of marriage, or being a parent, or a teacher, or the spectacle of being an interesting person, or even of being a regular person. He said the book said that over time you could end up performing your whole life, and that you might even get to the point where you really might not know who you are anymore, for real. And so really, people should only make a spectacle of what truly interests them as a sort of frame to heighten it.
Huh.
And, well, he composts his poop, so...
So you could never.
Well, that in itself is not a deal breaker, but it's more that the poop thing is his spectacle, and he doesn't realize it. And also it's sort of gross. I mean, I think it's unconscious, the spectacle part of it, but it's gross either way. But then we played Let's Pretend I'm a Psychic, and he was really into that.
You played it in relation to the spectacle thing.
Not really. Well, sort of. I told him about the game, and he wanted to know if in the future he'd be moving out of the country and selling his house. He said it was something he'd been thinking about doing for a while. I said, well, I can answer, but you need to know that I'm just making it up. I'm not really a psychic, but you might sort of believe that I am just by the mere suggestion of it, just by talking about it, just through what I say. And he still wanted me to do it.
So what did you say as Ruth the psychic?
I said that I thought he'd keep his house, and that a woman from Paraguay, who was not a lover, but more like a sister, would stay in his house, and that he'd go to Paraguay to both learn something and share something, and also that Paraguay would become more and more important to him, and eventually he'd see a giant butterfly as big as his head, and when he did, it would be a clear sign that the next decade of his life would be wonderful.
That is a good Let's Pretend I'm a Psychic reading. You were so nice to him.
I think he liked it. He believed it a little, too.
Remember when we played? Let's pretend I'm a psychic?
Which time?
Well, the last time, when I called you and said things weren't going so well and I didn't know what was going to happen.
Sure.
You told me I'd start swimming one day, and I'd get scuba gear, and that moving in water would mean more and more to me.
Right.
Well, that wasn't true. I don't want to swim. I don't really care much about being in water.
Well, Will, I'm not a real psychic.
Who made that game up anyway?
I can't remember. Probably someone in the dorms. I think everyone was high.
Really? Let's pretend I'm a psychic is that old.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What is?
Let's pretend I'm a psychic has lasted longer than my marriage.
Pretending outlasts most things.
You know what? My sister's kid found a tooth in the street. My niece, she's 6, and all her friends are losing teeth, and she hasn't lost even one yet. And my sister said to her, maybe you have to find a tooth to lose a tooth. And then she found one in Minneapolis.
I love that story. She found a tooth on the street like a treasure. I wonder whose tooth it was.
The mystery of the tooth. You know what's weird?
The cloud.
Know what's weird beyond the cloud?
What?
I'm divorced. Like, I'm in the afterness of it, but I thought I'd never get here into the after. I mean, before and during the marriage, there wasn't any after at all, but now I'm inside the after. And I thought I'd be in the marriage so long that the after would only be after life itself was over, my life. So I wouldn't even know about it as me. I wouldn't know about it at all. But here I am. Now I'm a guy who has been married. I just can hardly believe I'm a guy like that.
I don't want you to fuck Liz, okay? She doesn't wash her hands.
Okay.
Part 3. Permission.
I know what I know. I say what I say. I know what I say. Ow! Shit, you scared me.
Sorry. I see we have a new thing. I mean, you do. Why aren't you at work? I thought you'd be...
Look, I know you fucked Liz. She texted me.
Oh, we didn't, actually. We just made out, and then I crashed there.
Oh.
Did she say we fucked? Why would she say that?
No, she just said, Will is here, sorry. I mean, she texted that. I assumed you two... Was the kissing good?
I don't know. It was kind of dumb. It was kind of try-y.
Oh.
Is that why you're not at work? Because you think Liz and I...
No, the reason I'm not at work is because we had a delivery, and I wanted to receive the delivery. This is what I received. And also, I got in very, very late.
Oh?
I
What?
sort of ended up having a threesome, sort of.
Wait, what? With Poop Guy?
No,
Well, then who then?
this couple, they were visiting from Albuquerque for a conference. They got in touch with me from the dating site. Well, they weren't really a couple yet. They had only been dating about 4 months. I agreed to meet them for a drink at their hotel, and then one thing led to another, but she wasn't very into it. I think she was just doing it for him because he wanted to.
What hotel?
I don't know. Why? Do you know about Chicago hotels? Are they your hobby now?
No, I don't know why I asked that.
So we were all having drinks, and then she just left and said she'd be back, but she didn't come back. Then she texted him and told him to just have fun with me. But we couldn't figure out where she went, or if she wanted us to convince her to come back, or really what was going on with her at all. And then he just wanted to have sex with me, but I said no because his girlfriend from Albuquerque was just walking around in the loop on a Monday night. And that was weird. And also, I was more interested in her, or in the thing of it, of all of us, because it was a new thing. I did kiss him, though. And I'd already kissed her, too, near the river. So it had actually begun a little.
Wow.
So we texted her and asked her to come back, and then she came back. I didn't realize she was drunk. I mean, because I never get drunk, really. I mean, not drunk. I just didn't realize that maybe when she was sober, it all seemed like a good idea, but then she got sad or jealous or... I don't know. When she came back, we gave her a massage, and then he started to get things going with her, and it was exciting to watch in a way that surprised me. And then he asked me to kiss her and do other things. Mostly I did some things to him and her, and he did things to her, but I didn't let him do too many things to me because I think that's what she wanted me not to do, and I wanted to be respectful of that. Oh, she was being so confusing. At one point, or at more than one point, it was extremely sexy, like extremely. And I felt like I finally understood that sex without love, or even the potential for love, was really possible. And then it didn't mean you were an empty person or exploiting anyone, but that you were just, having fun. I never got that before. So that was kind of a revelation, albeit late in life, right? Don't most people learn that in college? I mean, you sure did. And then he, and then it was over. It was like, well, that's that. It felt like he was in charge of the ending. No matter what else happened or didn't happen, when he was done, it was done.
Oh.
Is this too much information?
No.
Okay.
So
right. So she sort of rolled over, and that's when I realized she was drunker than I thought. And I tried to talk to her, but she just waved me away. He told her to go to the bathroom and clean up, and she did. And then he did after her. And when we were all in the room, I said, "Whoa, you guys, we just had a threesome. We need to process this. Do they have room service here? Maybe we should order some fries and just go over what happened. I'm hungry. Are you hungry? I mean, we can talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and how we feel, and who we are now that this threesome has happened." And they just looked at me like I was insane. And then he said, "Do you need me to walk you to your car?" I said, "No." And he said, "Let me know when you get home safely." So then I came here, and you weren't here, and I thought you might be sleeping in the office, but you weren't. I think I'm getting rid of that futon. I hate futons. Futons are embarrassing unless you're 18 or live in Japan. Unless you're Japanese, because that's where futons are from, right? Are they? Don't answer. It's embarrassing for me to even say the word futon. It's worse than embarrassing. It's humiliating.
Okay.
And so then I texted him, well, both of them, because before this all happened, we had a couple of days of group text to figure out where we would meet and to get to know each other a little. So I reread those texts.
So group texts before the group sex.
Right. So I texted them both. I wrote, "That was unique. Sorry if anything was too weird. Hope the rest of your week here in Chicago is magic." But for some reason, autocorrect changed magic to tragic. So I realized I'd really written, "Hope the rest of your week here is tragic."
That's hilarious.
I wrote back right away, "Magic, not tragic, magic."
Wow.
I feel a little bad about it. But I don't know, like right now, thinking about it, I feel sort of sexy and also kind of like an asshole.
Because it was fun, but she wasn't into it.
Because I don't know if she was or wasn't. And because I didn't know how drunk she was. And because of how it ended. And because usually I want there to be sex, but I want there to be more, too. Sometimes I just want someone to write on the paper of my soul with their dick. You know?
Whoa.
What?
Nothing. I never...
Oh, but there was this other funny part. When he and I were going up to the hotel room, I gave him an elevator tour in the elevator. I just remembered that.
A what?
An elevator tour. See, There was silence in the elevator, and we were in it for a long time. We were inside the elevator and inside the silence. Everything was on the line because we didn't know if she'd be coming back or not. And then we realized that we were just standing there because we'd never pressed the button to their floor. So then he pressed it. I said, "Yes, that is one of the central features of this particular elevator. See this panel of buttons here? Well, they correspond to floor numbers located one on top of the other in this hotel."
That's funny. What did he say?
He said, "Yes, I believe I'm familiar with the button panel. It seems that when any of these numbers are pressed, a light appears." I told him that was true, but that all of the numbers should not be pressed at once, so then the elevator would stop multiple times. I told him that each time the elevator stopped, the door would open, and that it was possible there would be people waiting outside the doors. I said it was impossible to know if people would be waiting or not in advance. Then he said he thought it would be funny if we both sat on the floor of the elevator and rode up like that. He pressed some buttons and we sat down, and it made us giddy with anticipation. Only one person saw us sitting on the floor of the elevator when it opened, and first she gasped, but then she laughed. We kissed in the hallway, too, once we got off the elevator on the way to their room.
I want an elevator tour.
Right now?
Sure.
But we don't have an elevator.
Let's just pretend, okay?
Okay.
Hi, I'm here for the elevator tour.
All right, great. My name is Liz. I'll be giving you the tour.
No, don't be Liz, okay? Just be you. Just be Ruth.
Okay.
So, I'm ready.
So, welcome. Here we have an elevator. Now, you'll notice that what an elevator really is essentially a room that moves. A moving room. As it moves, it changes depending on who is in it and where it goes. It can go up. It can go down. It can also go underneath.
Is that what the L stands for? Is L for lower?
The L is for lobby. Sometimes there's an M for mezzanine. Sometimes there's an F for the floor where your friends are. S takes you to the sex wing.
This is some elevator. This is some hotel.
Yes, it's a special little room. It pulses. In fact, most elevators are extremely special. There are cables attached to them, but you can't see the cables. Look, door open. Look, door close. Emergency. The people. We're passengers. We're carried like babies.
Look, G. That must be for garden. L is probably not for lobby after all. L is probably for love.
You're right. A is for ambivalence. No one ever wants to go there.
Are you, in love with me? Are you in love with me, Ruth?
No.
That's not why you're mad about Liz?
No.
Okay.
I don't really care. I mean, people should just do what they want, right? We're all adults or something. It would just be nice to talk about it. Why don't people talk about things? They just talk around things.
No balls.
Right.
Half the time they're drunk anyway. Hey, Liz and I made up 3-word at a time Scrabble. You play 3 words at once and they have to connect thematically with the words that you're joining them to.
Do you get more tiles? I mean, how do you...
No, we didn't think of that. I don't know. The idea didn't really make sense, so we just...
Right.
I like the new thing. That thing. The trampoline.
Rebounder.
Really? It's called a rebounder?
It is. Rebounder is the real name. Rebounder is how I'm going to get higher. It's my brand new way of getting high.
It's kind of like an elevator. There's a girl in New York City who calls herself a human trampoline.
We're in Chicago. It's fun to jump on. Try it out.
Okay.
Be my guest, Will. Check it out. Give yourself the grand tour.
This is cool. Do you think adults can be abandoned? Is that possible? Well?
I'm thinking. No, adults can't be abandoned, but they can be left, or shunned by a group. They can be blown off. They can be excluded. They can be dumped. They can be used. They can be hurt. It's just something that happens. It's just one of the floors.
Can you skip it?
I don't think so. I don't think you could skip it. But you don't have to stay there forever.
This feels cool. We should get another one. If we had another one, we could jump in unison.
In unison.
Yeah.
In unison sounds like a spaceship.
Hello, Earthlings. Here we are in unison. We'll be making our descent soon.
Insecure, inappropriate, insignificant. I wonder why in. When you're insecure or insignificant or inappropriate, you are not in those things, but out of them. I'm not getting another trampoline.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Gotcha. We'll take turns.
Sure, okay. I want another turn now.
Okay. I would have liked to have had a child. Just one, maybe. But you know what scared me out of it?
What?
I didn't want to be so loving in public. I would have had to be because I couldn't have hidden it, the tenderness. And I'm sure I would have had that feeling toward it. And I wouldn't want to be seen outside like that with love just spilling out of me all over the place. So I just opted out.
You know what I want to do?
What?
I want to notarize things. I want to notarize everything. I want to be a notary public. I want to notarize this elevator and this trampoline. I want to notarize you and notarize myself. I want to notarize this room and this life. I want to notarize my job and notarize Liz and notarize all ages and all people and all trees and all plants. I want one of those special notarizing stamps. I want to make things legitimate with my seal. I want to notarize animals and precious gems. I won't discriminate. Anything or anyone that wants notarization can get it. I'll notarize rocks and nickels and beans. I'll notarize doing things and not doing things, like having children or not having children. I'll notarize screwing it up and getting it right. Notarizing will be my new religion, and after I'm done notarizing, I'll give everyone extra credit. Even if they've done nothing. Even if they're dead. Everyone gets notarized. Everyone gets extra credit. Okay?
Sure, it sounds great. Sign me up. I'm ready.
Part 4. Shit.
Hey,
I forgot my scarf.
that's what I was going to say.
I know, I said it for you. You left it like a tail. It looked like this long tail, like a sentence of yarn on the floor. Anything long can be a sentence, a scarf, a trombone, a yardstick. There are sentences hidden in things that are not sentences. If there are a lot of them, they make paragraphs, and that makes the world into a book. Here's your scarf.
Thanks.
Sure.
What did my scarf say as a sentence?
It said, if you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your long-lost pal.
Why am I soft in the middle? Why am I soft in the middle when the rest of my life is so hard? I need a photo opportunity. I want a shot of redemption. Don't want to end up a cartoon in a cartoon graveyard. A bone digger. Who'll be my role model? Now that my role model is gone. She crept up down the alley, sheep.
Oh, why did you stop?
I just remembered another part.
What part?
She said, losing love is like a window in your heart. Everybody sees you're blown apart. Everybody sees the wind blow.
That's why it's good you have your scarf back. It can be your bodyguard and help you with the wind. You can call it Al.
Right. Somebody could walk into this room and say your life is on fire.
Breakdowns come, breakdowns go.
Scarves too, I guess.
And cheeks.
Cheeks?
Well, Dizzy Gillespie's cheeks. They puffed up so much when he played, and then they would go release. I remember watching him play on TV once when I was a kid on a special.
Ah, his embouchure.
That's what it's called? Cheek thing?
Yes.
Embouchure? What a pretty word. Embouchure. Embouchure.
Embouchure ecstasy.
It sounds like a French word.
It is. Embouchure elevator.
Everything would be so much better in French. And also, if we were French, everything would be romantic and sophisticated. Everything would be beautiful and smell so fragrant. And there would be croissants.
Really?
Yes. It would be like butter, and everything French has butter in it. And butter is such a lavish substance.
It is.
Butter, elevator, embouchure.
What else?
Nothing. Nothing else.
I feel like you want to say things. Say things before I leave. You can. You can say things if you want to.
I want to tell you that I always spell the word available wrong. So I probably never will actually be available until I can at least spell it. But you know what? Maybe that's not true. I mean, babies are cute before they can spell cute. They are everything before they know anything.
Good point.
I also want to tell you, ask you if you know anything about power strips, because I've been wondering how long the longest ones are, how many outlets or USB ports they have on them, because a long one would be like a sentence too, right?
Sure.
I want to get a bunch of them, long ones, really long power strips with at least 20 outlets or ports on each. And I want to offer people outlets to plug their items into when they are in spaces with a short supply of outlets, like in cafes or airports, in outlet-deprived places.
That's a nice idea.
Public hammocks, too. There should be public hammocks that a lot of people can fit on and swing in. They should be made from socks without matches. They should be sewn together in communal sewing circles. They should be hung in parks. There should be foam pool noodles in puddles after it rains so that they're sticking up to look like straws, because that would be entertaining to see. And public mailboxes should have peepholes so you can gaze into the dark. All stairs should have eyes painted on them so they can stare at you as you go up and down the stairs. And performances of Rhonda Thomas plays should never suck. Her long monologue plays should not be done by an armed robber prisoner narcissist who glorifies having been a criminal and a jerk and doesn't show any of the sorrow and longing and sadness in that heartbreaking thing.
Wait, what?
He said in the interview after the thing that Rhonda didn't like it either and said it was overdone and pretty much completely wrong, and he laughed about it. Like he knew best. Better than Rhonda Thomas even, but he ruined it. And then he acted like this cute, coy little naughty boy, and the audience just ate it up. And he just made this dopey, dumb look. And you know what else?
What?
He drank through the whole interview from a flask.
Oh.
And there were these video clips of him in other Rhonda Thomas plays when he was in jail and when he was in other plays in Denmark or something. And there were a bunch of pretentious assholes there.
What are you talking about?
A Rhonda Thomas monologue play, Plumbed Lament. I went with Poop Guy.
Poop Guy? Poop Guy's back.
Yeah, he had tickets. He invited me. He remembered I liked stuff.
That's hilarious.
What is?
That you went to see something called Plumbed Lament with Poop Guy. Get it? Plumbing?
Are you for?
It's funny.
I guess.
Did Poop Guy like it?
I don't know. He was making chewing sounds.
Weird.
Yeah.
So, the actor, you're saying he was in prison?
Yeah, a long time ago. Some kind of famous criminal actor.
Pretentious fuck.
Totally.
You love it when I agree with you.
I do. I really do. Well, I hate devil's advocate. It's the devil.
I'm Angel's advocate.
Angels in the architecture, scattering in infinity. I swear, anybody could have done it better than him. Anyone.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was brilliant. Maybe he was amazing and spectacular. Or maybe he just had a shitty night. He did some of her work in prisons, you know? That's a cool, good thing, right? You know, like maybe if I came back the next night, I would have loved it. And maybe I'm the jerk. Maybe it was Poop Guy's fault. Or maybe I took out my disgust with Poop Guy on the actor. What do I know? Maybe I was just in a bad mood.
Now you're playing devil's advocate with yourself.
Yeah.
You want me to keep being Angel's advocate?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be on your side.
I mean, say you were in a store and someone came in with a gun and pointed at you. That would be scary, right?
Terrifying.
That's what he did.
When he was young?
Right.
So no notarization for him?
What? Oh, no. He gets notarized. Maybe he just had a bad night. Maybe I just had a bad night.
Want me to do it?
What do you mean?
You want me to do it. So, so you think of me instead of the criminal actor doing it, or the nice guy or guy who seemed like jerks because you were in a bad mood. Or do you want me to do it like a do-over, like an elevator tour, like an elevator speech, sort of, like the opposite of an elevator speech, opposite because slow and long?
Really?
Sure, I'll find it on my phone.
Oh, I don't know.
Wow, there's a lot of stage directions. It's like a map.
I don't remember that. Let me see.
Okay, I'll text it to you.
Wow. This is hard.
If you want, I can just...
Just say this part, okay? If you want, you can tap your foot here and there with it, like another voice, a little.
Okay. Is that the way he did it?
No, he didn't do it that way. But it's in the script.
Got it.
Just say it regularly, okay? Not show-offy. Just listen to it as you say it. Just be real.
Okay. Ready?
Sure.
Tell me if it's not right, okay? Just tell me if it's crap, and if it is, I'll do it again.
No, I trust you. Just read it. Just read it.
We have learned that there are gigantic chunks of land called continents and numbers that have names, composite and prime and ordinal. A cardinal is a red, red bird. Everything means something. I discover gold, goldfish, a forest, a second moon, all through the holes of various guitars. I can love someone wearing orange shorts. I can love a giant dog with a silver chain and a woman with a visor handing out leaflets. You can be 1 part anxiety and 3 parts sorrow. We can be a pile of black licorice and a documentary. We can reek of beauty, tenderness, and trying. Words to repeat. Compendium, pandemonium, symbolism, lymph. We can love a runner running, a carton of eggs, a neon kite. We can love whatever we like.
Yes.
Good?
Perfect. Thank you.
Again?
Really?
Sure.
Okay.
We have learned that there are gigantic chunks of land called continents and numbers that have names, composite and prime and ordinal. A cardinal is a red, red bird. Everything means something. I discover goldfish, a forest, a second moon, all through the holes of various guitars. I can love someone wearing orange shorts. I can love a giant dog with a silver chain and a woman with a visor handing out leaflets. You can be 1 part anxiety and 3 parts sorrow. We can be a pile of black licorice and a documentary. We can reek of beauty, tenderness, and trying. Words to repeat, compendium, pandemonium, symbolism, lymph. We can love a runner running, a carton of eggs, a neon kite. We can love whatever we like.
Wow. Yep, that's it. That's a good way to do it.
Thanks so much for letting me stay here, Ruth. You're not ruthless. You have good Ruth. Hence your name.
Well, I like how you will, because your name is Will, not won't.
I'm glad I will and did.
I think I'm going to paint in here. I don't know what color yet, but I think it might help. And after that, I'll unpack the books and the dishes, and then, who knows?
Curtains, couch.
Maybe.
Oh, we can love a runner running, a carton of eggs, a neon kite. We can love whatever we like.
God, he really messed that part up. What I mean is, in my opinion, he messed it up.
So, is it just too melodramatic or forced?
Yeah, exactly. Elevator Tours by Barrie Cole. Starring Colm O'Reilly and Carolyn Hoerdemann. Recorded and edited by Paul Brennan. Illustrated by Jules Darling.